So it looks like we got super lucky. All three of these bolts are cracked, and the high pressure pump didn't come out with them. It's loose, it's sitting there, so most likely it's not on the lobe of the cam. So that's cool. Now we can just rip our three bolts out, and we'll be confident we're not going to have a problem. That's your three Torx. They're all the same size, so don't worry about mixing them up. So this should, we just want to push our fuel line out of the way. Give this a wiggle wiggle. Oh, it's hot, 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 hot. Our fuel line, we're getting caught up in our fuel line. There we go. So our pump, that's all we need. We just want it up out of the way so we can get to that cam follower. Hopefully you guys can see. Here's the cam follower. It's sitting in here. That's what we're replacing. So we're going to take this out and inspect it. It's pretty toasty. Let me get some paper towels, clean this up. Just checking the end of the high pressure fuel pump as well, just to make sure that that's not ready to leave town on us. But yeah, pretty good job we're replacing this. I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on the camera, but this one's got lots of little wear marks in it, and also cracks too. So hopefully it's going to work. Mind me, it's my first day. There you go. So hopefully you can see that. It's pretty worn looking. And what happens is normally they'll wear like that, and then they'll wear a hole inside it, and then you're in trouble. I'll do a kind of a side-by-side here. It's kind of, new versus old, right? There's a new one. All right, new one. Looks good. Old one looks all worn. Little cracks in it. And they're not cracks, but that's where it's going to fail. I mean, that's the wear pattern that it has. Definitely, time to replace. I never should have let it go this long. You should do this every 20,000 miles. Yeah, and then reinstalling it, it's the same as what we just did. The only difference, I put engine lube on this. I'll also inspect the cam lobe in there as well, just to make sure. But I don't anticipate any problems given what this one looks like. So, yeah, enough talking. Let's do it. I'll leave the camera on for putting it back together because, why not? There is an O-ring on your high pressure fuel pump, which I did not order and I'm not replacing. So if you're doing this on your own car, yeah, you should probably replace that O-ring. You don't really need to, I'll be honest with you. This isn't the first time I've had decided to replace it. Like I said, I did want it about 30,000 miles. So. Yeah, if you put it back together and it leaks, then yeah, go get yourself an O-ring, right? No big deal there. So I'm not going to spray any brake clean or anything in there. I don't want any brake clean getting into the head. Which is why I blew it off before taking it apart there. And definitely make sure you do that. And the end of my high pressure fuel pump, it looks perfect. I mean, it looks absolutely perfect. So And the cam lobe looks good. We got super lucky. It's just about to come up on the cam lobe. So got lucky on that one. So take your new cam follower and let's get some engine lube for it. So I use this stuff. It's called Ultra Slick. If you're doing any kind of engine head work or anything really, it's a great lubricant to kind of dry start it. But not that we're dry starting this engine's still primed, but you never want to go in dry, right? Never go in dry. Just get yourself a dollop of that, put it right on top there. Lovely jubbly. And what I like to do is just put a touch on the side as well. And then as you're going in, that'll go to the top. Okay. So yeah, just work it in that with your finger too, just to make sure that fits lovely. Yeah, no concerns there at all. It's seated in there perfectly. Let's slap it back together. Let me get a rag out of here too. Now's a good time to get your rag out. Give it a few sniffs. Keep you going. Woo, it's good stuff. And the only thing I'll say going back together is, get it going in straight. Don't go in all freaking crooked and start doing damage to stuff. And then when you get it to about here, just push your fuel line down so you can drag your pump all the way home. Like that. So we're in. It's got a little spring tension on it, so no big deal. Never draw something like this in with the bolts. Make sure it'll go in first by itself before you put the bolts in and start. I mean, you're going to do some serious damage if you try to draw something like that in. What I do is just push it down with your hand and then spin the other bolt with your other hand there, and spin it all the way home. And that's it. It's done. And you can get your other two in. Where's my? And then don't tighten anything up until you got them all in. Be another bit of advice there. If you're doing this job, you probably know that already. I don't know if these have a torque spec. I think they do. Let me look that up. Let me look that torque spec up and I'll be back. Torque spec on these is 89 inch-pounds, and there's a sequence for it. It's bottom right, top left, top right. So 89 inch-pounds, boom, boom, boom. That's 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. So bottom right first. These aren't run in all the way, so let me do that before we torque them. There we go. Alright, so it all run in, and we want 89. Click, 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 click. That's it. Installed. So next we're going to put our fuel line back on. And these are on a ball. It's kind of like if you ever towed a trailer, right? There's a ball hitch and a ball. Well, the ball hitch in this case is a fitting on the bottom of the pump, and then the balls from the line. And a lot of times they'll sit off, and you got to lift them up before you tighten them. If you just try and tighten them like this, you're going to screw stuff up. So you want to lift the line up into place and then run the nut on. other way, you can get in some trouble. A few things you can do in a situation like this, like put a couple of cable ties around it, pull them, and then, you know, screw the nut on. I can get my hand back here, so I'm not going to bother with any of that, but that's like a, you know, top tip for you. So once you can feel it, it'll just run it up by hand, right? No big deal. Hopefully we can get this tight easily. If not, we'll get a crow's foot if we can't get at this thing, but should be able to. There is not much room here at all. Not at all, actually. Okay, so there you go. So don't be a caveman. Now once you feel it get tight, just give it a little push. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. I'm just gonna this one. There you go. So that's done. Pump's back in, fuel line's back on. Put your Schrader valve back in. Don't forget that, or you will set your car on fire as soon as you try and start it. And same thing with that. It's a 13 mil. Don't go nuts. And just, you know, get it tight right about there, and then you give it a couple of little, give it like a and a half. Put your cap back on. This booster hose went back in by itself, just by me hitting it with the back of my hand. Your wiring, route your wiring, it was underneath the hose, and it sat like that. We can go ahead and plug it in, no reason not to. And then your water pipe, you gotta get this back in place, put it in its happy place, which is right there. Check your hoses, make sure you didn't damage anything. Yeah, we're looking good. And this front bolt's gonna be tough, but I would put that one in first if you can. Yeah, there we go. You grab a little 1/4 inch ratchet. I don't want to be going in there with that little air tool, and yeah, next thing you know, you crack the intake, and then, you know, it's just a day ruiner. I'll do the same up here. You go after that with an air ratchet, you might be carried away, and now you're buying an intake at that point. And then we had the triple square was for the fuel line. Just kind of push that back into place. It's not hooked up. Just in case you're wondering, you can use an air ratchet like a ratchet. Okay, the only thing left is our little bracket. It's got a little 10 mil bolt. Let's probably should have put this in before fixing that line, but hey, we will still get it in. Maybe. Yeah. It's a pain. Let's grab our socket. We didn't use a socket. This thing's a bit of a pain. So yeah, just, you know, try and get your bolt lined up there. This has to be in the right position because it's got the ball on it for your engine cover. And how you know it's in the right position, there's a little hook here. You just push it back till it stops, and then that's it. It's in its happy place there. Happy days. And you just tighten it up, you know, obviously. Get your spanner on there. And put your fuel line back in. Go in that one or that one? That one? Yeah. Hopefully it goes in that one. I can't remember. It doesn't seem to fit in that one, so that's where it's going. That's it. All your wiring's in. You put the PVC hose back on. That's back in. Everything's tight. So these, just get them. Kind of wiggle them in. You'll hear them click. And yeah, that is it. Done. Put your engine cover on. Definitely check for leaks, you know, after you've got this done. But yeah, that's it. So that's how you replace the cam follower on VW, Audi, cam follower for the high pressure fuel pump. It's not that bad of a job. I mean, it's pretty easy. You just gotta have a few not really specialized tools, but I'll show you what I use to do that whole job. You know, there's not really, and you don't need half this stuff. This is a torque set. It's a T30. This has regular torques plus security torques and inverted torques. You do not need all of that. You just need a regular T30. T30 is the one I used. Definitely what came in handy was the triple square. This guy, I think it was a 5, sorry. So an M5 triple square, just to pull that line out of the way so you can get at the high pressure fuel pump. Some engine lube, ultra slick, whatever you want to call it. Let's see, a 13 and a 10 mil spanner, 17 mil. I ended up using this little stubby guy. That was easiest. And then, you know, your T30. A couple of picks, screwdriver, and you need a pair of pliers to pull the fuse for the fuel pump. But yeah, that's it. There's not much to it. The only thing left to do is start this car. Now it's going to be hard to start because I drained all the fuel out. I pulled the fuse out of it and let it run out of fuel, right? So there's a couple things you can do there. You can just cycle the key on and off a couple of times, repressurize it. But there's still air in there. There's still air in the system, so it's not just going to fire right up. But here, I'll show you guys that. Always double check. You're not going to screw something up and start a car. So first thing we got to do here is put our fuse back in. So we pulled the 20 amp fuse out of number 28, which is your fuel pump right there. And we're going to stick this bad boy back in. This was 28 right here. So you probably can't see anything. Put your little door back on. Just get it lined up. Clip. And that's it. Now, yeah. Let's try and start it. Like I said, I'm going to cycle the key a few times. I don't know if you heard that, but you could hear the fuel pump kind of burping itself. Did it again. It was like, all right, here we go. I mean, that's it. This car has 60,857. So, yeah. Last time I put one of these in, it had 30 something, 30 something, and they should be done every 20,000. I mean, mine are okay. Well, I shouldn't say they're okay, but mine probably don't need changed as often, just because I use Mobil 1 oil and I do the oil changes sooner than the Audi suggests. And I've done some engine flushes on this car, and you know, the internals of this motor are, I mean, they're spotless. They weren't when I got it. They're pretty junky, but it's, you know, over time I've just kept chipping away at it, and you look at the head inside, like the internals in the head, it's brand new looking. No, and it's got 70,000 miles on it. So you know, I was somewhat comfortable leaving this job for a little bit longer than I probably should have. But if you buy one of these, or any kind of VW Audi that has a high pressure pump that runs off the cam, I don't care where you buy it or who you buy it from, you should probably do that job. You should probably swap that out, because if it breaks, you can grenade the motor, and for I don't know, an hour, not even an hour. It's probably an hour filament, but it's probably a 20-minute job. On a cold engine, it's probably a 15-minute job, and without, you know, like I said, without trying to set the camera and stuff up, I could knock that out in no time. It's something you should do if you have one of these. It's just peace of mind, insurance. I'll probably let this go to 100,000 now. I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm given what I saw after almost 40,000. I'm happy enough to let it go 30 between changes. Yeah, that's it. Any questions? Stick them in the comments. But that's how you do a high pressure fuel pump cam follower on Audi, Volkswagen 2-liter turbo. Lovely jubbly.